Welcome to last week's bets. I'm your host, Jake MacKenzie. Merry Christmas and happy holidays to all. Too bad football had to come and slap me right in the mistletoe. Why'd the NFL have to come out and be the Grinch and steal Christmas Day from the NBA? There's 3 football games on. All of them are bad for me. I didn't like a single one of them. Meanwhile, Luka Doncic is out there dropping 50 points on the Phoenix Suns. What am I watching, you ask? Brock Purdy filled everybody's stocking with an interception. Thanks a lot for that, because we picked you, San Fran, and you lost us all money. Merry Christmas to us. Now, let's take a look at that draft stock. The Panthers almost get a win if Adam Thielen could just get the ball to the refs so they could spike it and kick a field goal, but they didn't, so they lose. They stay in the last place. Patriots, though, they mess around, get a win. Why are they doing that, you ask yourself? Maybe it's because Bill's actually out and he's playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers. Why get this team to the top draft spot if he's not going to be coaching there anymore? Hey, maybe it's some sabotage, get some wins, move them up, get them out of the top 5. They're currently 4th. They were 2nd last week. They're almost out. We got the Panthers, who don't even own their own draft spot. Bears are getting that first pick. Cardinals, Commanders, Patriots, and the Titans. Now that's some draft stock. Now let's take a trip to Fantasyland. Oh my goodness. I didn't win. I said I did last week. I didn't win. We all seen him get the tackle. We all watched the points go up. We all seen me celebrate, dancing. I was so happy. Couldn't get the grin off my face. I go home. Points are gone. Points are gone. Took it away. Boom. Not yours anymore. I'm old. It's over. It's it. No more fantasy football for me. But I'm living vicariously through my fiance, who is going to the fantasy championships for the 2nd year in a row. And I'd like to think that basically means I'm going to the fantasy championships. So we're going to get that done this week. But hey, if you were smart enough to start Derek Carr or Joe Flacco, they went absolutely nuts this week. Joey Footsteps reliving the past glory days. Amari Cooper, Browns franchise record with 265 receiving yards. Absolutely bananas. Gets 11 receptions and 2 tugs to boot. That's a 50 burger if I ever seen one, folks. And hey, that's a good fantasy. Now, how about those Chiefs? It wasn't good, okay? I'm not showing my face for a whole week. I'm living in the shadows. That was such an embarrassment. You know, we lost the game in 7 seconds. A fumble recovered for a touchdown, followed by a pick 6. 14.7 seconds. Oh my goodness. Isaiah Pacheco, our number 1 running back. He's running, helmet falls off, boom, knee in the side of the head. They take him to evaluate him on the sideline, and guess what? Falls right through the table. Absolute joke. Everything was an embarrassment for the Chiefs this Christmas Day. You know, we're the first team to lose a game while the opposing team cannot complete a pass in the final 3 quarters. Not one, not even a 2-yard screen, nothing. And we lost that game to the Raiders. I don't know what to say. I got 3 words. On to Cincinnati. Now let's take a look at the MVP race. It's nearing the end of the season. Things are starting to heat up. And I would like to think the front runner would be Christian McCaffrey. You know, CMC for MVP. Only 4 non-QBs have taken home the award in the 21st century. Marshall Faulk, Sean Alexander, LaDainian Tomlinson, and last, Adrian Peterson in 2012. But I'd like to think it's time to get it done again. Let's get Christian McCaffrey that MVP. And if not him, sure, Lamar moves up because Purdy has a terrible game. Lamar's team's the number 1 in the NFL right now. If Cheetah can get to 2,000, maybe he gets it. And on the fringe, you got Josh Allen. I know he leads the league in total touchdowns, but he has a bucket of turnovers, and his team is fringy themselves. So I'd like to think it could be the cat, Christian McCaffrey. Let's go. CMC for MVP, baby. Now let's take a look at who's going to the dance. In the AFC, the Ravens basically locked down that number 1 spot. The Dolphins in number 2 would be playing the Colts, and you already know how I feel about Gardner Minshew. Number 3, we got the Chiefs versus the Bills. Hey, let's save this for a later date where the stakes are higher, but if they want to play us in the first round, we'll bounce them out. And the Jags, they're playing the Browns still. Hey, let's keep that. Let's mark that one in stone. That's going to happen. Texans, Steelers, Bengals, they're all on the bubble. They're not making it in. I'd like to see the Texans, but it's not going to happen without CJ. And this week, we got the Bills in, Bengals out. That's the AFC. In the NFC, the 49ers, they're still holding on with everything they got to that number 1 spot, so they'll get the bye. The Eagles, number 2, they're playing the Seahawks. Number 3, we got the Lions playing the Rams. This is the one we want. We got Matty Stafford going back to his old stomping grounds to try and steal their souls. I love to see it. Bucks versus the Cowboys. On the bubble, we got the Vikings, Falcons, Packers, Saints. Hey, the Saints versus the Bucks, that could be for the division this week. Who knows? The stakes are high. And we also got the Packers versus the Vikings. They both need a win. And if they want to hold on to their playoff hopes, somebody's got to get one. And I'm guessing the Vikings can get it done. And that's who's going to the dance this week, baby. Now let's take a look forward to next week's bets. Before we get to the NFL slate, let's sprinkle a little side parlay in there with the college football playoffs. We got Michigan versus Alabama. I know what you're thinking. It feels like Michigan should win this game. But we're rolling Tide, baby. Go Alabama. We got Texas versus Washington. Okay, I like Texas over that, so I think we're going to see a Texas versus Bama college football final, baby. That's the college football playoffs. But next week's bets, NFL, we got the Cowboys over the Lions. Hey, the Cowboys can't win on the road, but hey, they're playing at home, so they're going to get this one. The Ravens over the Dolphins. Let's take the Vikings over the Packers. If you're feeling frisky and you like a tie, let's take the Chiefs and the Bengals to get a tie. Lately, every time they match up, it's a 3-point game. Why change a thing? I still think they win, but let's go with a tie. And even though the Bucks are playing the Saints, and that's kind of a toss-up, and I'd pick the Bucks, I'm rolling with an anytime Mike Evans touchdown. That's next week's bets. We'll see you in the new year, baby. Our New Year's resolution is to get more wins, take all that money from the sports book, and get rich. See you next year. It's last week's bets. I'm your host, Jake MacKenzie.